What is happening? Mattmade here, bringing the top 5 gaming news stories from the week. Let's jump right into it. Now, first up, we have Devil May Cry is getting a Netflix series. Now, the Netflix series is currently in development, and it's gonna be amazing. The same producer that did the Castlevania Netflix series will be doing the Devil May Cry series. And man, that Castlevania series, if you haven't seen it, it is amazing. Capcom is going all in and doing really great things right now. So they have the Devil May Cry game coming out. They have, for some reason, Monster Hunter movie coming out. They're just all over the place and you just can't get away from them. Now I'm curious to see, one, the art style and if it's going to be similar to the older anime that they had for it, and two, if they're gonna ignore that anime altogether and just start fresh and completely just start over. The original anime was okay. It was pretty good. I liked the art style. It was great. The story was all right, and the pacing felt a bit off about it. But since the guy from Castlevania is doing it, my worries are very minimal. Now, apparently they're going to be doing some type of multiverse. I don't know what's up with people and building out like a cinematic universe or cinematic multiverse. It's odd, but Castlevania and Devil May Cry are one of the series I can really see. Well, really, Castlevania, Devil May Cry, and Darkstalkers are the three I can really see together because they have the same type of lore and they kind of revolve around each other in the sense of the like religion and things like that, which is pretty cool. But I have no idea how they're gonna make a multiverse out of these two properties. I'm guessing they may stand up Darkstalkers somewhere down the line. That'd be great because we haven't seen anything about Darkstalkers in a while. But what are your thoughts? Are you excited about it? Are you interested in it? Did you watch Castlevania? If you haven't, why? Because go do that right now. If you're doing nothing, well, watch this video first, then go do it, because Castlevania is a great series and it's already slated for season 3. So I'm excited to see what Devil May Cry has to offer. Next up, we have some Square Enix news. Last week, they canceled the Final Fantasy 15 Season 2 DLC, so we're not going to get episode Aranea, Lunafreya, or Noctis, but we are getting episode Arden. And now they've come out and said, hey, we're working on a AAA title for the PS5. Like, literally, they have a job posting out saying, hey, we're looking for someone to help us and work on a new title, a new IP. It's untitled currently for the PS5, the PlayStation 5. I don't know if this is an unofficial announcement of the PS5 is coming. Who knows? We'll see about that. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth because you can Season 2 DLC, you take a loss, and then you're just like, all right, guys, new unannounced title, PS5, hi, here you go, how you doing? The job posting was for a job at Luminous Productions, which mainly does the Final Fantasy titles, and it was found on LinkedIn and then someone posted it up on Reset Era. So it's a real thing, it's happening, but PS5, like, people are starting to gear up for the next generation, and I'm just like, whoa, what are we even gonna get with that? I'm mad about it. I like Square, but some of their decisions just frustrate me to no end. Many of the people who are looking forward to Final Fantasy 15 Season 2 DLC are just bummed out, and then they get hit with news like this? Like, really, Square? Really? But we'll just have to wait and see what it is. Maybe they come back down the line someday and say, hey, we're gonna release this. Now, this next story does kind of tie into the previous one. Sony is apparently skipping E3 for 2019, and this comes after they've already announced that they're not doing the PSX for this year. Like, Sony's pulling way back, they're doing some stuff in the background, who knows what they're doing, but given that they're skipping PSX this year and E3 2019, I can only help but think that they're gearing up to make a hardware announcement next year for like a 2020 or 2021 release. 2020 seems pretty plausible and pretty possible. However, I highly doubt they're gonna announce something in early 2019 or mid 2019 and say, hey, this is coming holiday 2019. That'd just be too fast, and there's no way they'd have the title lineup that they have with the PS4 launch. Like I've said before, I have zero idea what the PS5 would even be capable of. Like, I don't know what I'd want in it. Personally, I don't even have a 4K TV, so it's pointless for me to even have a Pro. And if the PS5 definitely is going to have 4K, who knows what else? Probably a bigger hard drive. Most likely still gonna do discs. I don't know what else we could do. We're reaching the point where hardware is becoming so powerful, you're not gonna notice much of a difference between 4K, 8K, whatever. So what other features and feature set that you can offer, who knows? Now E3 will feel a bit empty without Sony. However, if I was at Microsoft or Nintendo, I'd probably get that space and do something really cool, really interesting with it, and not just have it be like a dead space there. Now the time slot may be empty, or maybe Xbox finally releases some cool exclusives because they've been buying up companies left and right. Or Nintendo goes, hey, everybody who's been waiting for Animal Crossing, everyone who's excited about Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, we have some stuff in those slots. That would be amazing. And I keep slapping my mic every episode. It's just like a staple at this point. But it's gonna feel a bit empty without Sony filling the slot or even being there. And without PSX, who knows what they're doing? Speaking of Nintendo, because it can't be a Mattmade news show without talking about Nintendo at least one time, Nintendo was awarded $12 million from the ROM lawsuit. Now this ROM lawsuit was, I believe, filed back in July. Nintendo had sued Jacob Matthias, owner of Love ROMs and LoveRetro.co, for a large sum of money for illegally hosting ROMs. Now, as we know with Nintendo, they're releasing their minis and they have their virtual console on the Switch now that you have to pay for. They felt that their revenue was getting cut into and undercut because you could just go to this ROM site, download the ROMs, and play them for free. Now, according to Arizona, awarded Nintendo the $12 million and made each party pay their own legal fees. So this is definitely the end of those two websites and Jacob as a whole, because there's no possible way he's going to be able to pay the $12 million, and he has to pay his own legal fees, and it was a grueling court battle. So those websites are gone. Nintendo has ownership of them now, so if they wanted, they could keep them up and charge people for them, or they could just shut them down and keep all the ROMs. Personally, if I was Nintendo and I did a shitty thing like this, I'd keep the site up, maybe charge a few bucks for a ROM or two, and try to at least keep that archive of ROMs alive and available. Cause man, this was a terrible thing. I mean, Nintendo's always been a hardliner when it comes to their ROMs. They just take a hardline stance of no, you will never do anything. Don't make fan games, don't make ROMs, don't rip ROMs, don't hack anything. Play our games, buy our games, that's it. And this is a huge blow to fans who like archiving and like playing their old games that Nintendo may just not offer. How else are you gonna go play a super old obscure game that Nintendo doesn't think will sell? You have to get the ROM, or you'll have to find a physical copy and have the physical hardware, which sometimes is unfeasible. But all in all, it's just a really messed up situation for someone who was hosting the ROMs. I'm guessing on his website he had like these sponsor banners and ad banners and things like that, but I doubt he was making much money off of those. For our last story, this is more of a rumor than anything. And the rumor is that Microsoft is going to be developing a discless version of the Xbox One. Now this could be so they can come in a lower price point, get more of a base in for the exclusives they may be releasing, or this could be so that they can put a larger hard drive in there and charge a similar price to what they currently have. Personally, I'm on the fence about this. I really like having physical carts and physical discs. However, I understand that takes up a lot of space when you buy a lot of games. Like, I'm trying to have trouble finding places to put games, and it can become a nightmare. And a lot of people are moving to digital only. So if you're Microsoft and you're like, hey, most of our base is buying these digitally, we don't even need to put a disk drive in these anymore. We can come in at a lower price point with the same size hard drive, or we can just bump up the hard drive, charge roughly the same amount, and people are happier. Now, there's been no official word on this as to if they're making it, if there's a patent for it, if there's anything on it. This is just all the rumor mill churning and throwing out cool concepts and ideas without really any solid evidence. But would you all buy a discless Xbox One? Do you prefer digital? Do you prefer physical? Are you somewhere in between like I am? What are your thoughts? What do you do? I'm curious to know. And that'll bring us to the end of today's show. Leave a comment down below telling me what you think about one or all of the stories. I love to hear your thoughts. I love having conversations with you all. It's always enjoyable. And don't forget, if you're a fan of gaming, consider striking that subscribe button and hitting the bell. This is Mattmade, and I will see you tomorrow.